You're not broken. You're just living out of alignment. You keep telling yourself you hate life, but if we're being honest, it's not life you hate. It's the version of life you're forcing yourself to live. The routines that don't fit you, the expectations that aren't yours, the roles you never consciously chose. Deep down, you don't hate being alive. You just hate feeling disconnected from the person you know you could be. It's a quiet kind of suffering a lot of men carry in their late 20s and 30s. From the outside, nothing looks wrong. You've got work, you've got responsibilities, maybe some friends, maybe family. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but inside, something feels off. You wake up with a heaviness you can't explain. You go through the motions, you tick boxes, answer messages, get things done, but it all feels like a script someone else wrote for you. You're not excited, you're not inspired, you're not present. And then you start thinking, I must just hate life. Maybe I'm not built for this. But what if the issue isn't life itself? It's that your inner world and your outer world aren't on the same page. Let me tell you about my friend. His name is Noah. Noah is 33. On paper, he's doing fine. Steady job, decent income. People around him think he's responsible, stable, mature. But Noah that has a secret. Most days, he feels like he's just enduring his work, enduring conversations, enduring his own thoughts. He didn't always feel this way. In his early 20s, he had dreams, curiosity, energy. He wanted to build things, explore, learn, create. But life happened. He chose the safe job. He stayed in roles that looked impressive instead of ones that felt meaningful. And each time he ignored his gut, he moved 1 inch farther away from who he really was. He didn't notice it at first, but by 33, the distance between his life and his true self felt like a canyon. One evening, Noah came home after another long day. He dropped his bag, sat on the couch, and just stared at the ceiling. He didn't turn on the TV, didn't touch his phone, didn't speak. He just felt empty. The thought that finally surfaced was simple, and it scared him. I don't want to live like this anymore. Not in a dramatic end everything way, but in a deep, honest way. He realized he wasn't living, he was just maintaining. He felt regret for the choices he made from fear, shame for betraying his own intuition for years, disconnection from his work, his relationships, even from his own body. He wondered, why do I feel this way when nothing is technically wrong? And then another thought came, what if my life isn't the problem? What if I'm just completely out of alignment with it? That question changed everything. The shift didn't come from quitting his job overnight or moving to another country. It started with something softer, quieter, more honest. Noah admitted to himself, I've built a life around what's expected of me, not around what's true for me. He stopped asking, why is life like this? And started asking, where am I saying yes to things that aren't me? He realized he said yes to work that drained him because it made sense on paper. He said yes to social situations where he felt like he had to perform instead of just exist. He said yes to a version of manhood that left no space for his real feelings, creativity, or needs. Alignment, he realized, wasn't about having a perfect life. It was about living closer to what actually mattered to him. That awareness didn't fix everything, but it gave him a compass. Noah's comeback wasn't glamorous. It looked boring from the outside. He started journaling each morning and asking himself questions like, what feels fake in my life? What actually feels right for me? What tiny thing can I change today to make my life 1% more honest? He took short walks alone, without music or podcasts, just to reconnect with his own thoughts. He set boundaries, said no to extra work that violated his limits. And no, to people who only called when they needed something from him. He made space for things that actually felt aligned, learning a skill he'd always put off, working on a small project that excited him, spending time with people he could be himself around. He didn't flip his life upside down, he adjusted it a degree at a time. And slowly, the I hate life feeling started to fade, not because life became perfect, but because his inner world and outer world were slowly starting to match. Here's what you might need to hear: you don't hate life, you hate living a life that isn't aligned with who you truly are. You hate pretending. You hate performing. You hate ignoring your own needs and values just to keep the peace, pay the bills, or live up to expectations you never actually agreed to. You're not lazy. You're not ungrateful. You're not broken. You're misaligned. And misalignment is fixable, not by blowing everything up overnight, but by bringing your daily choices closer to what's real for you, one honest decision at a time. If this message hit close to home, you're not alone. Feel free to subscribe only if it helped you see yourself and your life a little more clearly. And if you're comfortable, share one sentence of your story in the comments. It might be exactly what another man needs to hear. You're not broken, you're becoming, one small shift at a time.